were asked to put together the strategic plan 3 years ago. It was to put together a plan that would ensure the viability of Kelly Greens. The plan was approved last spring, and our next step was to go to work and to actually put it into what things would look like. We did a lot of analysis and determined that there were several amenities that other communities had that we needed to be looking at to further Kelly Greens. We hired an architect after a process of interviewing a total of 9 architects and general construction companies. The board selected Dave Humphreys and Gates Construction Company. When Dave Humphrey first came out, he took a tour of the campus, and we went out on the west side of the bar, stood out there, overlooked the pond, and Dave said, "Wow, this is your money view. This is what you need to exploit." And that's how the west side proposal came about. Just to orient you, this is what we have right now. This is our existing clubhouse, the interior. And this is the overall campus look at the west side proposal. We have our existing tennis courts here, our existing fitness center, which would be repurposed in the west side proposal. 2 additional tennis courts would be added, 4 pickleball courts, a couple of bocce courts. The colors that you see here in the little mustard is new construction. Both of these are the additions to the kitchen. This is the casual outdoor dining, and this is a porte-cochere. If you're not familiar with the term porte-cochere, it's nothing more than a portico. It's an extension of the roof that provides protection from the elements. So if you want to get picked up or dropped off, you would have protection from the rain. It also serves a nice dual purpose in that most of the communities that have undergone renovations or that are new, this is a look that they have. So with that, coupled with the extension of the kitchen out front, it would give the front of Kelly Greens an updated look. Coming out from the outdoor dining, it flows into a resort pool area and gathering area. The existing activity center and pro shop building would stay the same. The pro shop would be turned into the accounting office, and the activity center would be available exclusively for meetings. Where the pool is now, to the left of the accounting office, when you're looking at it, that's where the cart barn has been. The cart barn will be raised to provide the room for the pool area. In doing that, the cart barn will be reconstructed over on the west side of the property with the fitness and wellness center on the 2nd floor. The pro shop will be on the 1st floor next to and contiguous to the cart barn. I mentioned that the existing fitness center would be repurposed. That will become meeting space. Right now the fitness center, the equipment room, is about 1,100 square feet. And that would wind up in this revised plan of it being 700 to 800 square feet as meeting space, and then the other 300 to 400 square feet would be John's office, our tennis director. That would help us fill the need for additional meeting space that we continually get asked for within Kelly Greens. Another option on here is where the pickleball courts are, where the bocce courts are. That could be shifted a little bit to where the bocce courts could go above the tennis courts, running perpendicular, and then the pickleball courts could be slid up. That would give the natural barrier of the existing fitness center building between the pickleball courts and the tennis courts. Something that you need to be aware of is you may notice on the west side it appears as if the parking has been, that we've lost parking spaces, and that is true. On the east side, when we get to that, you'll see that we have not lost parking spaces. But what we have told Dave is that under no circumstances can we go forward with a plan with reduced parking. He is of the opinion that he can go to Lee County and solicit a variance on the amount of green space that's needed in the parking lots and be able to come up with an appropriate amount of parking spaces. This is something that we need to delve into more, but you should have the confidence to know we will not go forward with a plan that loses parking spaces. This is the kitchen expansion, which is the same whether it's on the east side or the west side. Currently, we have about 4,600 square feet of space in the kitchen that includes all of the culinary lines, as well as all of the storage, dry storage, wet storage, frozen, the housekeeping, the food and beverage office, chef's office, and it's problematic in that a lot of dining demands have changed since this was built. Many people are looking now for casual dining, small plates, and one line does not adequately service that type of dining in addition to fine dining. So the proposal is an increase of 2,000 square feet and would be represented in this drawing. The one thing that I would ask of everyone is if you have not gone to a kitchen tour, please try to find time to do that. It's an enlightening experience. You'll see that the service back there could be greatly improved if they had a secondary line. The other thing that you need to be aware of on the kitchen is 20 years ago, how many people did y'all know that were vegan, that were vegetarian, that had gluten intolerance, that were seafood intolerant, that had peanut allergies? It's pretty common today. It's difficult for our kitchen staff to ensure that there's not cross-contamination because of the tight quarters. We have a lot of members in Kelly Greens that are afraid to eat in our dining room because they have these intolerances or certain dietary needs, and they're not sure that there is not cross-contamination. So that's something that we need to be aware and cognizant of. Okay, this is the covered dining area, and what we will have is the wall, or the exterior wall that's currently in the bar right now, separating it from the outside. That would come down, and that would be replaced with nano doors. Nano doors are the type of doors that we have in between the PDR and our dining room. They open up to give you full walk-through area. They're glass. They would be impact glass and hurricane resistant. So it would have the ability to open up and be able to have one large room for gathering, area for gathering. The outside dining is covered with a regular roof that would be coming out from the bar over the covered dining. It would be open air. There would be shades or screens that would be able to come down to protect from the bugs or from weather. And then those can be coupled with hurricane shutters as well. Because of the proximity of the outdoor dining and the kitchen in the west side proposal, there would be a secondary kitchen, a subsidiary, smaller kitchen that would be needed. And then in addition to the grill kitchen, there's a separate entryway to alleviate people from having to go through the clubhouse to gain access to the outdoor dining. And there will be bathrooms added as well. The outdoor covered dining will seat approximately 80 people, and would be, the dress code in there would be very, very casual, as in we expect that it would be jeans. If you were at the pool and wanted to come in, as long as you had a cover up on, that would be adequate. What the trends are and what the industry has started calling this, that might really give you some clarity on the nature of the dress code being so relaxed, is they call it flip-flop casual. Okay, this is a little bit bigger view showing you once you go from the outdoor dining out to the pool area. There would be a bathhouse there. The pool area is servicing as a social interactive area, kind of a hub of activity at the other clubs that we've been to. The current pool that we have, it does not really permit people to swim laps. It's not long enough and it's not deep enough. There are a number of people at Kelly Greens that go over to have memberships at outside places so they can swim laps. Swimming is an aerobic activity that is highly recommended for seniors, as there's no impact on your joints, and so you find more and more seniors are swimming as their form of exercise. This pool would accommodate them in that it has 3 25-meter lap lanes, and then an area for just recreational being in the pool as well. The other thing that this has is, and accomplishes one of our goals, is to try to make everything that we are proposing here an improvement, a betterment for our members. This would be a zero entry pool. It would make sure then that people that have a difficult time negotiating steps would not have that issue and would be able to easily get into the pool. Coming farther to the west from the swimming pool, you come up with the staging area and the bag drop area that could be used for staging for shotguns. And then in the lower part, we have the reconstructed cart barn with the fitness and wellness center on top. One of the things that you need to be aware of, and if you've looked at the booklet either online or you have it in the hard copy, is the west side proposal does require the removal of our big beautiful tree. This is a schematic of the proposed fitness and wellness center. One of the things that we learned in our research is that fitness centers aren't just equipment rooms any longer. They serve a multitude of purposes, including wellness and helping seniors age. In addition to an area designated for equipment, this also has the classroom workout rooms with it, and this is for exercise classes. It's a one big room that can be subdivided into 2 smaller rooms, the total being about 1,500 square feet, which is similar to our activity center that we have now. We have talked to Fit Forever, who is the company that we contract with that provides the fitness instructors, and they felt that this is an adequate size for a community of our size. In addition to that, we looked at the fitness centers and the classrooms at our other peer communities and looked at their size relative to the amount of people they have, then scaled it back, and it looks like, again, it confirms that this 1,500 square feet is about the right size for Kelly Greens. In the middle, the equipment and exercise room, the equipment area, including space for stretching and free weights, it's been determined that should be about 2,200 to 2,500 square feet, leaving about 500 square feet unallocated. And the reason that is another thing that we have seen and that's trending nationwide is there are physical therapy rooms within fitness and wellness centers. Especially in senior communities, we have a large population that needs recurring or continuous physical therapy. And it enables our residents not to have to go off-site to do that. Again, we're trying to think of ways to better the lifestyle for our residents. That requires about 300 or 400 square feet. And then we would need another couple hundred square feet designated for equipment that is used in cognitive skills training. Our medical profession has done a great job in extending our bodies for an extended life. We have knee replacements, shoulder replacements, hip replacements, but they haven't found out really how to give us an extended brain life. Mental acuity is critical for successful aging, and there is equipment now that is being put into fitness and wellness centers that are positioned for seniors to help with their mental acuity. And so we're recommending that a couple hundred square feet of this part of the building be designated for cognitive skills training. In addition, you'll see on this plan in the lower right-hand corner, there is an elevator because it would be on the second floor. So for folks that may have a difficult time negotiating the stairs, there wouldn't be any problem going to the fitness center. This is just a larger look at the tennis court, bocce ball, pickleball area. So moving right along, we'll go to the east side plan. Again, this is the configuration of the clubhouse, the interior of the clubhouse. And this is the overview of the campus on the east side plan. And you'll notice that the existing tennis courts on the far side remain. Right below them are two additional tennis courts that are positioned a little bit differently than they are in the west side plan. This enables the parking to be closer to the clubhouse. The bocce ball is on a perpendicular basis to the tennis courts on the north side, with the cart path being slightly adjusted to provide for that. You'll notice that in this plan there are no 4 pickleball courts over by the tennis courts, and that's because by the pool we couldn't put pickleball courts directly beneath them because the noise would be a factor and would be an unpleasant distraction to people that would be out by the pool. So we needed to find another home for pickleball. Next to the pool on this, you see that there is a new construction, the mustard color, and what that is are ladies and men's restrooms, and again the small office for our tennis director. The appendage that goes on the top side of that structure is just a covering to have a viewing and seating area where you can use it for both the pool and for the tennis courts. Coming over back to the clubhouse area, you see the outdoor covered dining and the same new construction for the kitchen and the porte-cochere. On the rear end, you see that it's our current little terrace that we have. That would be covered with a pergola or some other type covering just to make that space more usable. The activity center and the pro shop would remain as it is. The cart barn would remain as it is. The big tree would remain there and be untouched. On the far left side, we have the proposed new fitness center, which would be similar to the second story fitness center in the west side proposal. It would be the same square footage, about 5,000 square feet, but in this case it would be a single story building. We were able to put pickleball in between the cart barn and the fitness center, where it has a small sound wall helping to make sure that the noise from the pickleball doesn't reverberate across the pond and into the villages. With the sound wall coupled with acoustic fence, which is a protection that's put on the inside of the fencing of the pickleball courts, we feel that will preclude the degree of the uncomfortable sounds that comes from pickleball. So we think we've got that covered. The problem that we've had here that we've not been able to overcome is where can we put 4 pickleball courts? Our community has spoken through a petition. There's been about 100 people that have signed a petition saying that they would like to have pickleball. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the nation, grew 650% last year. We feel that that is something that new buyers are looking for. If you have any suggestions on how we could integrate 4 pickleball courts, we'd love to hear them. This is a blow up of the east side, kind of the social interaction area. Out from the private dining room would be the outdoor covered dining. The glass wall that is the exterior wall from the private dining room would be changed into sliding glass doors that would open completely. There'd be a stack of sliders on each end about 4 or 5 feet, but the rest could be opened to use it as an open air area to where you could just flow in from the private dining room outdoors if you needed to for functions. Because the snack shack would have been raised, We have a grab and go, or effectively the same type of thing that you would have servicing the golfers to be able to come in, grab something at the turn, and proceed onto their to hole number 10. The size of the outdoor dining on both the east side and the west side proposal are about the same, would seat about 80 people. On here, because it's right out from the kitchen, no subsidiary or second kitchen would be needed. Men's and ladies' restrooms are added there. And then you go out to the pool area, which is, the pool size is the same as it is on the west side proposal, 3 25-meter lap lanes, and then the zero entry for the pool, so you don't have to negotiate steps. Down in the right-hand corner, you see that there are ladies and men's bathrooms and a small office for the tennis pro. A couple of times we have been asked about access for restrooms for the golfers at the turn. The golfers would be able to use both those bathrooms that are at the lower right-hand corner of your screen, just like they use the bathrooms with the fitness center now. In addition, they pick up 2 additional bathrooms over by the outdoor covered dining area. And then the existing bathrooms over by the cart barn, between the cart barn and the activity center, would remain for their use as well. This is just another drawing of interior of the fitness center. If we decide to go forward with either the west side or the east side plan, at that time we would do a much deeper dive into what the fitness and wellness center should look like in the configuration of it. Okay, so now that you've seen the east side and the west side proposal, let's look at the numbers. This is the west side. The west side proposal all in is roughly $12 million. A couple things you need to be aware of. Number one, the $12 million includes $2.2 million of soft costs. In either proposal, the east side or the west side, that same $2.2 million is included. What are soft costs? Soft costs are things like engineering fees, architectural fees, FF&E, which is furniture, fixture, and equipment, contingency, construction contingency, things of that nature. One item that should also be pointed out here is under grill room. We are not doing virtually anything to the grill room. The vast majority of those funds are money that is needed to structurally reinforce the area where the nano doors would be between the bar and the outdoor covered dining, the new entryway that would be constructed, and then additional bathrooms. There is a small amount of money, and you'll see that on the east side proposal also, to fix our current situation with the TVs in our bar. If we go either with the east side or the west side proposal and have the contractors here, we thought it made sense to take care of that problem at the same time. We have had conversations with 3 banks. Charlie Johnson, our treasurer, and Elaine Bailey, our controller, has met with 3 banks, all of whom are eager to provide financing for us, and have said that it could be structured on a 10-year amortization carrying a fixed rate today of 3.5%. That is the prevailing rate. Of course, if we go to do this, by the time they make application, that prevailing rate could be something different. At a 10-year amortization at 3.5%, it's $375 per door per quarter. One thing that you need to be aware of with this is that if 2 years into this you sell your house, you are no longer responsible for that $375 per quarter. It would be treated just like our regular membership dues are, billed on a quarterly basis, and whoever owns the property pays the payment. The east side proposal is just shy of $3 million less. It totals out at $9 million. You can notice on the grill room that's $44,000, and that's really the fix of the bar, the interior bar that we have currently. There is no subsidiary or satellite outdoor kitchen needed for this one. And in the east side proposal, we don't have the cost of raising the cart barn and reconstructing it. So what that does here is, you notice the quarterly payment, same amortization, same interest rate, is $91 less at $284. Okay, so you might ask, what now? A couple of things. We are having 36 focus groups. We are listening and recording the comments that our members have, the suggestions that they make. We will be analyzing all of that information, and then in mid-November, we're having 3 town hall meetings to say back to you what we heard. As soon as the town hall meetings get complete, and we are sure that this is what we want to go forward with up to the master planning stage, your finance committee has already selected a couple of individuals who have committed to work on determining what this is going to do to the operation of Kelly Greens from a financial standpoint. They will be working on generating a pro forma income statement and capital budget. They will be working with Elaine and Kathy's direct reports to make sure that we understand any labor increases. Do we need to add people to do this? What about the other types of fixed and variable costs? How will they be affected by these other amenities? They will conclude their work, as will the architect and the general contractor. So in January, we'll be back to you at town hall meetings and presenting the master plan. The master plan will be detailed renderings, both interior and exterior, of the project, along with a virtual video that will show you what Kelly Greens could look like if this project was approved and implemented. After the town hall meetings, the voting packages will go out and the vote will be tallied at the end of February and announced. We do need to have 67% of the voting members to affirm a vote. So we appreciate everybody making sure that they have on their calendars, and in the month of February we need to make sure that you vote. Let's hypothetically say that this is approved in February, and you might want to know what's the timeline then. The timeline is the contractor and the architect need about a year to do all of the preparation, the site work, the permitting, the ongoing more detailed renderings, the construction details, everything they need to do takes about a year before construction can even start. And so we would be at spring of 2021 when the shovel goes in the ground. The construction period is about 6 months to a year, with the beginning parts of certain amenities being completed within that first several months period, and with some of them not being concluded for a year. We have been told our golf course is not affected. The golf course will not close down. The tennis courts would not close down. There would be limited food and beverage service during part of that time. That there would be service with some type of probably mobile kitchen, and those would be during the summer months. Gates Construction has a person on staff who is very highly trained and very experienced in logistics management to try to minimize the downtime and the inconvenience that a construction project has. We will have a representative from Gates Construction at our town hall meetings who will give you a lot better and more comprehensive information on that. So that's what I know. We appreciate your time for listening to this. We hope that you would please give us your feedback. That's what this is all about. We want to know your comments. If you have any questions, please remit them to either my email address directly, to the SPC mailbox, or give us a call. Thanks so much.